of Crafton. Here comes Blaney with him in the blue and trouble. Gallagher, hang on.
What a save by Spencer Gallagher.
The great moves he's made. Look at that.
He's 45 degrees sideways here and saves it.
He needs to save that one for Eldora because that's the way he's going to drive through 3 and 4 in a couple of weeks.
Crafton doesn't get.
Tough. Oh. Caleb Holman, that 75 truck, he was in position with the Food Country truck to get the free pass. He was in line there.
Caleb was running in 17th, and you can see what happens when you don't save it and it gets away from you.
Right there, you see the two trucks. They were actually racing for the free pass. Caleb Holman, the 75, was in position. Daniel Hemrick, the 14, was going to try to get by him to get in position for that free pass. They made contact, and that's the resulting damage to the 75 Food Country truck of Caleb Holman.
Heavy contact to the outside wall. Holman's done. Hemrick's not having a very good evening. He's still in the top 20, though, and will continue to race.
The yellow 88. He's in 4th, Hunter in 3rd, and there goes Bell into the wall. Christopher Bell in his 2nd start in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series has seen that truck get sideways more than once tonight, had done a tremendous job.
Don't speed. Hit road speed now.
And watch, he gets loose on the bottom and tries to chase it up the hill, and then it finally just comes all the way around. He was inside the top 10, Phil, and like you said, he was thinking, I'm going to give me some positions. I've had this thing out of control. I can hang on to it. But these things are just so hard once you get them sideways. If you save them once, it's quite an... Look,
he's sideways before he ever got to the corner.
Yeah.
And then never really caught up to it. Just about got it there, but then ran out of racetrack. If we would have had another lane or so of where rubber had been put down, he probably would have saved that truck, but unfortunately for him, didn't have it.
You make one swipe at it and save it, maybe two, but then that third one seems to really whip you around, and that's what happened there.
Well, he's getting his feet wet here in the truck series, learning a lot. He'll be back in more comfortable confines, if you will, come Wednesday night. The Brad Doty Classic over in Lima Land. He'll be back behind the wheel of a sprint car.
These guys know that time is running out. We're approaching 10 laps to go. Look right side of your screen. Look how sideways John Hunter was, right up against the wall.
Oh, and there's the caution. Gallagher pounds the wall this time with a 23. He was running 13th at the time.
Man, these trucks are running upwards of 185 miles an hour when they enter the corner, Ralph, and that's exactly where Gallagher hit. It's a three-wide battle. Gallagher gets into John West Townley and turns himself sideways. There had to be contact from where he was spinning. And watch this thing turn left, and right, excuse me.
And I'm sure to Spencer, it felt like it picked up speed as it got to the outside wall there.
By the way, if you're looking for that CONCACAF soccer match, you can find it right now on Fox Sports 2, and we'll switch it over to Fox Sports 1 as soon as the checkers fly here.
Watch this. He just tried to take the bottom and go three wide, but he had a bad angle to the corner and ran into John West.
I think once he got to John West, then he might have just grabbed the steering wheel, tried to turn left to stay off of John West. When it did, it turned him sideways, and hard contact with the outside safer barrier.
That's what the end of these races are all about, Ralph, and that's why the last 10 laps are so unpredictable. These guys have a chance to get sideways three wide. They're going to take advantage of it.
Well, here's something interesting about the last 10 laps here at Kentucky. The driver leading with 10 to go has won 15 of the 17 races here.
Looked like John West maybe moved away from Johnny Sauter as they entered the corner, not so he wouldn't go in the corner so close to Johnny Sauter, and that might have surprised Spencer just a little bit, and that's when they made the contact.
Watch how hard this truck hits this outside wall.
It really didn't look like it slowed down that much. It had to slow down because we saw the black marks, so those tires are scrubbing off speed, but it sure didn't look like it slowed down much.
Problems. Huge hit for Kennedy. The 11 up on the safer barrier. Down off the wall it comes to a grinding halt in the middle of the racetrack.
I'm okay. That's a hard hit.
That's great news. That's the voice of Ben Kennedy.
Right there.
See, he's racing on the inside of David Gillen. They make a little bit of contact. You see John West Townley was on the outside. He's going to run right into the side of him and kind of lift that truck up a little bit. Got into the catch fence for the second week in a row. We've had a vehicle in the catch fence. But again, the catch fence did its job. It kept that truck down on the racetrack, and you see it riding along the top of the safer barrier.
When they got to turn 1, Phil, I think they were 3 wide, and Ben probably thought that's a difficult angle for the spotters to see as well. And I think that Ben probably thought, wow, look how close that truck comes to going over. Probably thought they were just too wide, and he had room to move up a little bit for the corner.
That's what it looked like.
That was incredible how that truck just grinding along that safer barrier.
That's a battery sliding up in the top lane of the racetrack. Let's take a look at it again.
You can see that it was Gillen,
John West Townley in the yellow
West,
truck.
and I think John Gillen was just below John West, and maybe Ben Kennedy felt like they were just too wide and had room to angle himself for the corner, battling for a spot well inside of the top 10.
Man, look at that shot.
Right past one of our camera positions.
Look at all that debris.
But as you pointed out, Phil, that catch fence doing exactly what it's supposed to do as the axle's just grinding along that safer barrier on the wall.
Wow.
Look at ripping the nose off.
We saw
Here
it.
goes that battery.
Yeah, there's a battery out of the truck. It's right in front of the left rear tires where that battery is encased. You can see steam coming out of the lower radiator hose. The radiator's already gone off that truck.
And that wheel, Michael, just turned to the left on that left front just enough to catch it and pull it back down as opposed to rolling over. Watch this from the 25.
Cody Coughlin's going to see what happens, slow down, and look at all the debris he's got to avoid.
Pretty heads up move by Cody. Immediately when we saw the
Dean, he just slid right up into that wall, nothing he could do.
and he's the guy with probably as much dirt track experience out here as a lot of people.
Oh, around
Caution.
goes Griffin.
Yep.
Jake Griffin will have to either make it through the heat race here in the top 5 or the last chance qualifier. He will not be able to fall back on any points to get in this
There's
field.
about to be a lot of work on the 00. Cole Custer.
Yeah, Cole Custer was following the 80 car. I'm sorry, excuse me, the 80 truck of Ellen Crane, and she got up into the outside wall, slowed her momentum, and he was right behind her. You can see right there, that's the 80.
And Madeline just was pedaling it because she was about to jump over the cushion. Cole Custer has no way of knowing that she's not going to hit the gas
We
and
saw
go.
so much work being done. Oh, and Sauter backs it into the wall. Yeah, that's a pretty good hit there.
Well, he just got loose sideways on entry.
Yeah, way early. That's the middle of the back straightaway right here. Watch him pitch it as he gets down here. He was going to try to go underneath the 82 truck of Sean Core and just didn't have the grip. Significant contact with the outside wall. There's Jake. You see the pink truck right there. Just trying to get that power down, and this never could corral the back of that thing. Yes, it is.
This goes around well before the bump we were talking about off turn 2.
So Christopher Bell have to just crank that wheel, get down below once he saw him start to go. That was the 14th spin in this session. Big key is we're dry, and the racetrack is perfect. Exactly what we expect for a dirt track. Plenty of mud.
Yeah, quite wet early on there. You saw so much mud on these trucks, and we had a few trucks get into the outside wall, more than a few probably. That's Ben Kennedy with some pretty significant contact.
And this is a truck that's been really fast all day long. Bobby Pierce, but he gets a little bit overexcited entering turn 3, and around he goes. Most of the action, Ralph, was down in 3 and 4 with trucks spinning there repeatedly.
Yeah, a lot of guys trying to find out how early and how hard they could get on that throttle.
There's Eric Jones, our pole sitter last year for this race.
Ty Dillon in the 33 in the Ream truck. He was quick.
Yeah, and he could win this race tonight. So just because you see your favorite driver spinning around, don't think his chances aren't still great for winning.
There's Cole Custer, the 00 round as well. How about Brad Keselowski, Cup champion, first time on dirt? He gets turned around.
And Christopher Bell on the 54 was good all morning. Even he had his issues.
See Brad Keselowski, there are some bumps off turn 2. He hits those bumps and gets high off the corner. So in a hurry, Phil, like right there. You could see heavy contact in the outside wall. Look at the way the back end's all bent over. She keeps going, and I'm thinking it must have busted her oil cooler or maybe knocked an oil line loose because
yeah, there was definitely some oil on those right side tires, and she drove it all the way back to the garage area. Hopefully she didn't run it out of oil pressure and do some terminal damage to
coming off at 2 is where there was that big bump. Had a chance to tie into the wall. Yes, he is.
the 15th spot of the 16 trucks that have gone so far, and he's going to spin around.
Oh, man.
Keep it out of the wall. All right, not only did he keep it out of the wall, he got some style points.
Yeah.
Kept it heading in the right direction.
nice 360.
Four-wheeler, he's
Water truck, whatever it takes.
whatever it takes, he's constantly monitoring. Oh, around goes Hayward.
The 74 coming off of turn 2 brings out the caution with 3 to
This
go.
could be one of the restarts of the year. Oh,
Gallagher. Yep. Round he goes in the 23.
holding ground. He's able to stay.
Oh, there goes the 1. And he keeps it going.
Charge. Oh, we got a spinner on the front.
The 08 goes around, and the caution comes out as Corbin Forrester spins coming off a 4. We're coming back to Eldora. Hope you do too.
If you're, say, Matt Crafton or maybe Kenny Schrader.
Big
Oh, we got a
contact
crash.
on the back straightaway at the entrance to 3. John West Townley is involved. The 50 is involved of Knowles. The 35 of Erickson, who's made it into his first Mud Summer Classic after missing it last year.
Yeah, the 35 of Erickson was coming to pit road. He was black flagged for starting too soon, so he was coming to pit road. I wonder if he maybe slowed down so much. See him down in the bottom. Oh, look, there was some contact there. It looked like Spencer Gallagher got into the 15 of Chad Boat. That's what started that.
Yep.
Wow.
Just caught the rear end of that truck.
Erickson was coming to pit road, and that's just a bad break.
Looks like Sean Corr involved too.
Forrester got together. Watch Travis Popple. There goes Popple around, and then everybody trying to slow down behind him made some contact, and it put Forrester into a
All the way
spin.
from the top, all the way to the bottom. But 4 or 5 wide here may have something to do with this spin right here. Probably going to be some contact. Looked like Chad Boat, the 15 truck, got into that left rear quarter panel of the 23 of Spencer Gallagher.
They're going to get by him, but he... Oh, hang on, Brad. Just drive it down to the bottom of 3. How about that? Man, that was
I think
awesome.
the track bars bent, Phil, some of the rear suspension possibly.
There's some damage right there from the 45 into that left rear quarter panel. I'm not sure if the right rear is definitely down. I'm not sure if the left rear is down or not.
See if we can check out what happens, John West. You can see just in the middle of the track, no contact, but his 05 truck spins around. Townley's on the lead lap.
What he might need is another caution. And guess what? He just got it.
Leaders right in your corner.
Peters brings it out here, coming off at turn 4.
Wow. Wow. I mean, simultaneous wow. This is why you come watch trucks on dirt. This is so dramatic, so much heart, so much desire from those front 2 trucks.
Timothy did a slide job on John Hunter Nemechek and just overcooked it a little bit into the corner. Didn't quite make it.
Nice job by John Hunter not to run into him.
With him at least. Last time by, the fastest truck on the track.
No trouble.
That's Chavis. The yellow is out.
Yellow's out here. Yellow's out.
Boy, we got to do it again. Was such a great restart by all 5 of the first front rows. Ray Black Jr. also involved in the 07. He's actually at the entrance to pit road.
Black Jr. 18th.
He's already loose there completely by himself. Does a nice job getting the thing going forward, but unfortunately it hooks, and around he goes into the outside wall.
Like
Ray Black Jr. just trying to avoid him, I think, got sideways.
Look how far those trucks slide. That tells you how fast they're going. That's exiting a corner, and he had the brakes locked down, sliding sideways, and still made contact with that inside wall.
We saw Jeb Burton make contact with an inside wall in cup practice
Timothy
today.
Peters down on the bottom. Eric Jones going around. Caution is out. 4 wide just didn't work there.
Looked like Austin Dillon and the 4 of Eric Jones got together over there in turn 1. What an amazing job by Timothy Peters.
Gets turned around.
When Austin Dillon jumped to the inside. Now look, they're just going to run out of room there. Looked like Eric Jones came down, squeezed Austin just a little bit in that 33 truck.
Wow, Timothy Peters was so fortunate there. He barely slipped by the spinning truck of Jones. Watch this.
Ooh, he made contact. It would have turned
How did
Timothy.
he save that truck?
Wow, and a lot of damage to that right rear quarter of Timothy Peters.
What about the points implications of this
Trying
crash?
to give Austin some room, and that put Kyle up in about the 4th lane.
Look at that, 4 wide, and Austin Dillon, his right front gets into the left rear of Eric Jones. Jones goes around, and 2 of our top 3 in points have had problems today.
From Kevin Harvick's onboard camera.
Great job by Harvick, by Townley, by Cameron Haley. All those guys holding their lines and getting through there.
How did this end up being only a single truck incident here when Eric Jones spins out in front of 95% of the field?
Well, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Timothy Peters for being able to hang on to that truck. He was clobbered, and if he turns around, that piles up the whole front of the field. Watch Peters.
Here. Nice to get a good run off here. There you go, buddy. 1 inside. Keep coming. Keep coming high. Keep coming. Caution's out. Caution is out. 1 inside. That'll be P4.
And that
There's Hemrick in the 14, Tift in the 54, Mason Mingus and John West Townley getting together.
Hold the gas. Hold the gas.
And a yellow, again, a caution waves.
All right, get rolling. Front end 3, guys. A little bit of rear damage.
white checker.
You can see Mingus got loose on the bottom of the racetrack, took John West Townley with him into the outside wall. Looked like for a bit Townley had a chance to save it, but it made pretty significant contact with the outside.
I think a little more room and he probably would have saved it because he didn't really get turned around that much, but just ran out of racetrack there.
Well, it's a shame. Both John West Townley and Mason Mingus have had good weekend. Mason Mingus season best qualifying effort. John West, as you guys have noted, has had speed and was running well.
Well, that started on this restart, Phil. John West had the inside second row starting position, and he just didn't go. And that put him 3 wide when they got down to turn 1 and didn't get any better over the tunnel, and it resulted in a crash down to turn 3.
See a little bit of damage to the 15 of Mason Mingus. He stays on the lead lap right now. How about Kyle Busch, Vince?
Kyle Busch around the outside in the gray, and we've got a spinner. It's the 07 of Ray Black Jr., and I think Mason Mingus might have caught a part of that 07 as well. Caution at Michigan.
We talked about challenging these trucks out in traffic.
But maybe they get that pushed out and have a chance to have a good run.
Ray Black was by himself there in the middle. Mason Mingus committed to the outside. Ray Black Jr.'s truck slid up the racetrack, caught Mason Mingus up towards the wall.
Well, it's a tough break for Mingus because he had nowhere to go, and that was certainly no fault of his own, that damage. Move on Kyle Busch.
Yeah, if he makes a move. Oh, we got another spin. Ray Black Jr. around once again.
That's inside turn 3 into the grass.
Caution is out.
Black Jr.
Can you roll?
Looks like he's going to be able to get it back to pit road into the garage, but a lot of damage
Still coming at you.
on that 07 of Ray Black Jr.
Left rear tire down.
Second time he's brought out the yellow today.
Oh, we got a crash behind these guys. Big crash.
Caution it out. Caution it.
Cody Coughlin, the Jags truck, into this. Ben Kennedy.
Try to come down pit road if you can here.
So another caution. Well, we've had 3 bang, bang, bang. Some serious damage done to the 54 of Cody Coughlin.
Told you they're going to get serious, and that's what happens when you get aggressive, especially with the experience level of Cody. Might not have been his fault, but he might have gotten put into a tough position, couldn't come out of it.
But doing a nice job running up in the top 15. First time here with Kyle Busch. Mason Mingus, we had some damage earlier on that 15 truck. What happens here? Look at bottom of your screen. The 54 gets a little bit loose, chases it up the hill, gets by Cameron Haley. Spencer Gallagher does an awesome job getting by. Tyler Young going around the outside. Ben Kennedy tried to go the same route. Unfortunately, Cody Coughlin came up the racetrack right in front of Ben Kennedy.
We talk all the time about how difficult it is to run that bottom without getting loose, and that was a great example of it. Cody probably never been in that position. It's time to go late in the race. Look at him. He dives to the bottom.
It's so inviting down there. He's got a whole lane down there. He knows he can go faster. Unfortunately, just lost that downforce. Caught Ben Kennedy up against the outside wall.
We talk about so inviting. Look at this opportunity he sees. Look, I'm going to dive right here.
All I got to do is get in the throttle. Oh, but I get loose.
Great job by Spencer Gallagher. You saw Spencer was the first truck there. He elected to go low. Look at Johnny Sauter. He's made his way into the battle.
It's a wreck. Crafton and John West Townley getting together.
There you go, good save. Keep coming. There's debris over there. Just keep racing. We're still green. A big piece of debris
Still
over there.
green, but
Still green.
A championship save. And watch what happens from there.
Just gets loose, has to chase it, runs up into Matt Crafton, turns him around. Look at the job Matt does here. Completely sideways up there with no grip.
unbelievable.
That's some drifting right there. Look at the move Austin Dillon makes to try to grab the lead away from Blaney.
Remember, no out of bounds here at this racetrack.
Watch Crafton. I'm going to win a championship. Oh, no, I'm not.
That reminds me of the synchronized spinning we had with Johnny Sauter and Ron Hornaday at Kansas a few years ago.
Did you see those back tires? He had them lit up trying to keep that thing out of that wall.
If Crafton ends up winning another championship, he's going to look back at this race because there could have been all kind of disaster for him. Multiple occasions he's avoided disaster here.
Look how out of shape he was.
At least 45 degrees sideways, and he saves that truck.
Series at Michigan International Speedway.
Kyle says, good job, Jerry. That's Jerry Baxter, his crew chief. Looks like Spencer Gallagher has another truck issue as he came to turn 3 on the last lap. See what happened. Racing alongside Reddick.
Cameron Haley on the outside. Oh, just gave Spencer Gallagher
Whoa,
a shot in the back end.
Looked like Gallagher tried to cover the spot that Haley was committed to. You can see Haley's trying to get to the outside.
Watch the back of this truck. He gets air underneath it.
Remember, this is already the backup truck for the 23. They had to go to the backup in practice.
Speaking of the backup,
Wow.
back of that truck up in the air.
You see the roof flap bouncing, but not coming